Imagine waking up tomorrow with an IQ of 300. You'd solve impossible math problems, invent revolutionary technology, and probably become the smartest person alive. Right? Well, maybe not. Because the biggest secret about intelligence is that your brain isn't designed to make you smart, it's designed to keep you alive. And those are two completely different things. In fact, your brain lies to you hundreds of times every single day without you even noticing. Today, we're going to expose some of the biggest lies your own brain tells you, and by the end of this video, you'll never trust your thoughts the same way again. N. Let's start with something weird. Which orange circle is bigger? This one or this one? They look completely different. But surprise, they're exactly the same size. Your eyes didn't fail you, your brain did. Every second, your brain receives millions of pieces of information. If it processed every detail, you'd freeze like a computer trying to open 10,000 tabs at once. So instead, it cheats. It guesses. It fills in missing information. Most of the time, those guesses are correct. But sometimes, they're hilariously wrong. N. Here's another example. Have you ever looked for your phone while it was literally in your hand? Or searched everywhere for your glasses while wearing them? Don't worry, you aren't losing your mind. Your brain constantly filters out information it thinks isn't important. Scientists call this selective attention. Your brain is basically saying, I've already seen the glasses. Let's ignore them. Thanks, brain. Now let's talk about confidence. Imagine two people taking the same test. One scores 95% and says, I probably got lucky. The other scores 40% and says, I'm basically a genius. Sounds ridiculous, right? But this happens all the time. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. People who know very little often overestimate themselves because they don't know what they don't know. Meanwhile, experts usually underestimate themselves because they understand just how much there is left to learn. In other words, the smartest people often feel the least certain. The moment you form an opinion, your brain starts acting like a lawyer instead of a scientist. It searches for evidence that proves you're right and quietly ignores everything that proves you're wrong. This is called confirmation bias, and every single person on earth has it. N. Now imagine two identical products. One has a luxury logo, the other doesn't. Even if they're made in the same factory, your brain often believes the expensive one tastes better, feels better, and works better. That's the placebo effect in action. Your expectations literally change your experience. In some medical studies, patients felt pain relief from fake pills because they believed they were taking real medicine. Your brain is so powerful that belief alone can change how your body feels. N. Here's another strange fact. Have you ever heard your phone vibrate, but when you checked, there was no notification? That's called phantom vibration syndrome. Your brain has become so used to expecting messages that it starts inventing them. It builds shortcuts. These shortcuts are called mental heuristics. Most of the time, they're useful. But sometimes, they lead to terrible decisions because your brain chooses the fastest answer instead of the best one. N. Have you ever met someone for just 10 seconds and instantly decided whether you liked them? That's another shortcut. Your brain forms first impressions incredibly fast, then spends the rest of the conversation trying to prove that first impression was correct. It doesn't like admitting it judged too quickly. N. Now here's something that sounds impossible. Your brain can actually change itself. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Every time you learn a new skill, practice an instrument, go to the gym, or even repeat a new habit, billions of tiny connections inside your brain become stronger. It's almost like your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on what you do every day. N. This also explains why bad habits become so hard to break. Every repetition strengthens the pathway. Imagine walking through a field. The first strip is difficult because the grass is tall. But after walking the same path every day, you create a clear trail. Your brain works exactly the same way. The more often you repeat something, the easier it becomes, even if it's a bad habit. N. But if your brain can rewire itself, then one huge question remains. Who's really in control? You or your brain? Here's the biggest plot twist of all. You like to think you're making every decision consciously, but science suggests many of your decisions begin in your brain before you're even aware of them. In experiments, researchers have found that brain activity can predict certain simple choices moments before people consciously decide. That doesn't mean you don't have free will, but it does show that your brain is constantly working behind the scenes before you notice what's happening. N. N. Now. Before you blame your brain for every bad decision you've ever made, here's the good news. You can actually train it. Think of your brain like a puppy. If you let it do whatever it wants, it'll chase every distraction, every notification, every craving, and every lazy shortcut. But if you train it consistently, it becomes one of the most powerful tools you'll ever have. And want better focus? Practice focusing for a few extra minutes every day. Want better memory? Challenge your brain by learning new skills instead of endlessly scrolling. Want more confidence? Do difficult things repeatedly until your brain stops seeing them as threats. Your brain adapts to whatever you feed it. The question is, what are you feeding it every day? N. N. Here's a fun example. Imagine your brain as a GPS. If you tell it to look for problems all day, it'll find problems everywhere. I'm not good enough. People are judging me. I'll probably fail. But if you train it to notice opportunities instead, something amazing happens. The world starts looking different, not because the world changed, but because your brain changed what it pays attention to. N. N. This is why gratitude, exercise, reading, sleeping well, and learning new things have such a powerful effect. They aren't just healthy habits, they're upgrades for your operating system. Every good habit strengthens helpful neural pathways, making positive behaviors easier over time. N. N. Here's one final challenge for you. For the next 60 seconds after this video ends, don't touch your phone. Just sit there. No scrolling, no notifications, no checking messages. Sounds easy, right? If you already feel the urge to reach for it, congratulations. You just caught your brain trying to take control again. N. N. The truth is, intelligence isn't about having the highest IQ. It's about understanding how your own mind works. Because once you understand the tricks your brain plays on you, you stop being controlled by them. You start making better decisions, building better habits, and living more intentionally. N. N. So remember this. Your brain is an incredible machine. It can learn almost anything, adapt to almost any situation, and completely transform your life. But only if you become the one holding the steering wheel instead of letting your autopilot drive forever. N. N. If this video changed the way you think even a little, hit the like button. Subscribe for more animated videos that make complicated ideas simple, and comment below with one weird thing your brain does that you've never understood. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and never stop being curious.